everyone. If you're new here, welcome. Today on Master on Tech, we're going back to our Crazy Hot Find series where I go to my local Amazon bin store and I find some good, great tech that is on the cheap because this is for returns, liquidations, those types of things. So today I've got the Stincoo headset here. We do have some great RGB. These are on here cat ears that do have RGB and you can change them. We'll show you that here later. But let's go ahead and dive into the unboxing. Let's see what this thing comes with and let's see what it can do. All right, and let's go ahead and check out the GS510 from Stincoo. It's really nice. It's got some RGBs. It's got a nice solid design, and for once, these cat ears do not come off. They're on the headset. They do have RGBs. Around the back, we do have some of the specs. On the side, we have more things that I cannot read. So it's definitely always the luck of the draw with these Amazon bin stores, what you'll find, what language it's going to be in, so on. But let's go ahead and get this guy out, and let's see what we're working with. Now, the packaging for this thing, not the best, but obviously that's why it's at the bin store. It's been mangled a little bit. And the insert plastic is good enough. But inside of here, we do have the manual that it comes with, which we'll complain about that later. And then we have the little bag of goodies, and then we have the headset itself. The plastic little container that it hangs out in is not the highest quality, but it gets the job done. So we're going to start with the little goodie bag here. We do have the extra trinkets and cables. They don't look the best right now, and it also comes with a snack pack. Please don't eat that. It is silica. But overall, we do have the extra add-ons. We'll see we have extra cups here, and we'll go over that here in a bit. But you can swap out the ear cups. One of them is very special and important because it has a little metal piece on the other side that you need to use on the correct side that has this little metal piece. Now we have the USB dongle here. It has a little light on it for an indicator. It is a little bit thicker than what most USB receivers are these days, but that's okay. We have the USB to USB-C cable for charging. It does have fast charging. It says this thing can be charged with the proper voltage in under 2 hours, which would be great when we talk about the battery life. Now we do have the 3.5mm double jack here, dual male, that will be able to plug into the headset and into a controller or a phone if it has a headphone jack. But of course, those are all the accessories, but we have the headset itself. It is decently heavy. It is made out of metal. It is very secure. You do have this lovely printed inside that also goes with the cat theme. Giving me very much so like Sailor Moon vibes with the black cat. And we do have the microphone here. It does slide in and out very easily, and it does have a little LED on the end of it. Now, we'll go over why that's not that bad, but here is that little metal piece that I was talking about. Is you have to make sure that you're using the right puck that has that little copper piece. And so if that's not on the little dot, it's not going to work. And that's how you use and change the RGB. But it does look good. Again, going with the cat vibes here. And you do have the USB-C charging on the bottom. And then you have on the other side the headphone jack. On the back, we'll spin it around. We have all the extra buttons here. One for your power. One for the mode, which is gaming, movies, and music. And then live mode. Plus the mute switch and the volume rocker for your volume for the headset. And so, again, not bad. Everything's pretty, close by. Everything's there. We do have some RGB here. Ignore the flicker. LEDs, when you give them more power or less power, depending on the brightness and everything, this can happen. Now, this won't be what you would see. This is only due to the camera being able to take video of it, and it just doesn't match the frame rate that it's capturing at. So, we do have where you can sync it. You can tell what it's doing. It may be if you're looking in a mirror, you may not be able to see it because obviously the LEDs are on your head. But if you're a streamer, or if you do content here, then these would be great. These look good. These are high quality. And I think you'll be very pleased with the RGB function. Now, when it comes to battery life, we do have to talk about that. So they say on the box it goes up to 8 hours at 50% volume for this headset. Now, they are not clear whether that's with RGB or not. But I have seen online, if you do read some of the reviews, people are getting about 20 hours out of it, so I'm assuming that's without the RGB. That's not super clear. You can also find on the listing, it does say up to 10 hours of battery life, so somewhere between 8 and 20 seems to be where that sweet spot is, which you'll see here in the booklet as well, that they do have a little piece on that. But I have seen in the reviews, people have talked about up to 20 hours, and I'm assuming that's without the LEDs on. So depending on how fancy and pretty you want it to be, well, you may not be able to use the LEDs, because even though that 2-hour fast charge is nice, it doesn't exactly scream being able to have long gaming sessions, at least with the LEDs on. And so, again, super nice. And here in the instructions, we'll go over a little bit of that. But we do have the headset controls. They have the power switch, all the modes, which color it is for that if you want it to, when it changes to it. And also wired mode. Here in the center is where we have the on and off of the LEDs and the switching of the colors for that touch key. And that's where you have to get those pucks right on the exact same side that it needs to be for that little indicator for it. So just keep that in mind when looking at this. Now, granted, as we look at this, it's a roadmap. So it obviously gets a ding in my book because this should be a booklet and not a roadmap. All right, guys, we're going to get into the sound quality of the microphone. So far, you've been hearing my Mayano PD400X. It's XLR. Sounds great. Now, with that being our base standard, we are going to go ahead and swap out to the headset I normally will. You've heard it before, but we're going to use it as our baseline since we've used it before.
So now we're going to go and switch over to my normal headset here. Sounds kind of, you know, hearable. It's not bad. It's not great. But that's going to be our baseline here. So now, let's go ahead and switch over to the Stincoo, and let's go ahead and see what it sounds like. Alright, now this is the Stincoo in all its glory, with its RGB. I know I look absolutely great, but it's all about how does it sound. First off the bat, I can tell that this is extremely loud on the way it is, and I'm going to turn this down so I don't blow out people's ears. This goes a lot louder. It's a lot more sensitive. I can move it away, but it still doesn't seem to change the sensitivity all that much. The sound quality, as far as what you guys are hearing, you know, you guys can be by all means the judge of whether this sounds better or worse than my new Bo headset. And so this is our baseline. This is exactly how it sounds. Nothing changed. And now let's go ahead and swap over to the Still series, and we're going to add a little bit of that stuff back and see what we can do, and let's see how that sounds. Alright, and now we are back on new Still series with the Stincoo. A little bit extra fidelity brought back into it with a little bit of changes with their AI system that they have for it. It sounds better, absolutely. I think it sounds great as far as what it has to work with. Obviously a standalone microphone, which I have some other videos on the channel. If you guys want to check out some of those microphones for some standalones, would be better. But this as a standalone mic, again, not bad. I think the biggest kicker for this headset, where we currently stand, is the battery life. Obviously, this is just beautiful looking. I know I should probably be wearing these all the time, but the battery life definitely kills it, being that it's 20 hours, give or take. So it sounds okay. It looks even better. Only problem is you got to keep this thing charged. So, but without that being said, let's go ahead and slide back to the main video, and let's get back to the regular, pristine microphone.
We're going to pull out the sound meter here, and honestly, I think they got spot on this one. The buttons on it aren't super clicky. They are really nice. You know that you hit them, but they're not just like gunshots in your ears as you press them. And so, being that this is on your ears, you don't want loud buttons. And I love that they took that into consideration here. And same for the mic. I've seen other microphones in the past where you pull them out and it's like click, 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 click. No. This is super smooth. This is super premium. This headset definitely has a lot going for it for the premium feel and features, including the weight. We will go ahead and weigh that here. And it comes just shy of 390 grams. So again, it is relatively heavy, but all this glorious beauty does come at a price. Which, speaking of its price, that does come in roughly around $80 to $90, depending on where you find it. Could be $100. So do make sure that you're checking to see if it's on sale or if there's any like new variants in the used category, because that's always a great way to get a good deal, right? Also, Amazon Warehouse is a thing, so check that as well. But overall, make sure you're checking it on a good deal. I think in 2024, especially for wireless, the batteries is really where this thing really, really hurts. Is, I mean, 8 hours? I mean, that's a good gaming session or a work day. I mean, this, by all means, is not work attire, but if you don't have to be on camera, then who cares, right? It sounds great, and they fit well. But if you're using the LEDs and you want to feel pretty, well, that's a different thing. So just keep that in mind, that when it comes to this headset, yeah, the battery life is its biggest downfall. Now, there is a wired variant of this that is for about $60, that so then it's USB powered. You don't have to worry about, you know, dying and needing to charge. So do keep in mind that is an option. But overall, I think if they could bump up the battery life on these things, maybe 2 or 3 times it, which I know may be difficult with the weight, find a good way to balance that. I think this headset would be amazing for streamers or content creators. I know I just look glorious in the cat ears right now, and we'll be returning to normal programming in the normal headset after this. But do keep that in mind. I mean, the RGBs are great. You do get to cycle through a bunch of those. Red, blue, green, purple, pink. And it's really vibrant. It looks really good. But like I said, I think the battery life is the biggest killer. If you don't have to have this for a long period of time and you want to use this and you like the way it is, absolutely pick this up. If it's within your price range, it's definitely a good headset. It sounds amazing. The mic, okay, it is a microphone on a gaming headset. Do keep that in mind. I do have some other microphones on the channel if you guys want to check those out, that you guys can have a fantastic microphone for 30, 20, maybe $40, depending on what day of the week it is. That would be a whole lot better than this thing. But do keep in mind, this is an all-in-one package. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys have been able to hang out here and see this the GS510 Stincoo headset. It's been a pleasure. This thing is really nice. I'm glad I was able to pick this up for like $5 at my bin store. If you guys have any of those Amazon bin stores, you see one of these laying around, grab it. It's a great deal for what it was. Just note, if you have anything to do with a battery or battery life sensitive work or playtime, this may not be the headset for you until they do the upgrades. So do keep an eye on that. If you check the listing and then the battery life has been upgraded, by all means, pick it up. It'd be a great deal. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a pleasure being able to use this thing, and it does do what it's supposed to do. But we are here at the end, so thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe, do what you need to do. Links will be in the description for everything, including this headset and my other socials, and including if you guys want to go over to amaster15.com, go ahead, don't forget to do that, and you'll be able to check out everything else that I do. So until next time, guys, on another episode of Crazy Hot Finds, I will see you guys then.